Hey, the
How
whole
you
thing went
doing?
live.
Hey, we're live.
Who would
We
thought?
are live. How's life today? It's great
Yeah,
here, right?
that's right. We'll do it live.
Right. Let's not use the rest of that.
No, 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 no.
Yeah. So today, and this goes by as I was looking through some things in the past, when job postings went up for either us or for other companies or whatever, and um, everybody works on their resume, right? They work on their resume to make sure that they can get that next job. And then you cross reference the resume to LinkedIn and they're nowhere to be found.
Yep.
Um, and I think LinkedIn is just as important. Like we take time to build out, well, some people take time to build out their Facebook profile, to build out their LinkedIn or their Instagram profile or Snapchat or TikTok or whatever profile. But the professional one, the one that your hiring managers are really, really looking for, is truly LinkedIn. And so when you don't have one, it's very hard for them to see what you're doing professionally. And people don't always update their resume. We know they may have been laid off in March, but it still says that they are presently at their current company. And that's kind of hard for people. Like if it's not, they need to update both of them. So why don't we lead off with you?
Okay.
And you can talk about how to make your LinkedIn profile and resume look alike.
Yes. Start off with this is important because most hiring managers are actually going to reach out. One of the first things they're going to do when they get your resume, before they ever even set up an interview, call you or anything, is they're going to look for you on LinkedIn. So don't shoot yourself in the foot by having a LinkedIn profile and a resume that don't match. How do you do it? Well, first things first, make sure your resume goes in the order from most recent job to last. Most people naturally do this, but in my career, I've seen a handful of people who will put the last job on top and their most recent job at the bottom. That's just super confusing compared to your LinkedIn profile. So make sure the order matches equally. Details, details, details. So don't just say where you worked, okay? But how did you make an impact in that role? What did you do? And John's going to talk more about that in his segment, but don't leave it blank there. This is a chance to shine. And then the last one, of course, is if there are gaps in your resume, you took some time off, even obviously those who have been laid off, unfortunately, due to the pandemic, if you were downsized or laid off and you had a gap in employment, make sure that that gap is showing up in your LinkedIn profile and in your resume. Just super critical.
Yeah, and I think that that's a challenge because LinkedIn might be the spot to put that in why. You should put it on your resume, but we do leave a lot of gaps out. And I think that gaps are critical in explaining where you've been. If you took a year off to take care of an ill parent, add that to your resume and put that, because when a hiring manager glances down your resume and sees 2020 to 2018 to 2020 and 2015 to 2017, but there's a 7-month gap in there, they're going to wonder why, and they're going to want to know why. And so if you just add in there why, it'll help a lot, right?
Absolutely.
And I think that's critical for some people. So yeah, on my end, creating the best LinkedIn profile. And by the way, we're in the process of building a course for this, and this course will actually help you do this. And you guys can look for that near November. But you want to make sure your LinkedIn, you might make sure you link your profile to company pages of current or prior employers. And so they all should have them. Most of them do. And by doing this, if somebody does a quick search of the property, the company, the brand that you work for, they're actually going to get your profile as well. So that will help you get pulled up in that search. You want to add numbers, accomplishments, awards under each job. Not one, not two. If you have 6 jobs on your LinkedIn profile, and hey, by the way, your resume, you want to make sure that you're adding numbers and accomplishments in there. You want to sell yourself. the resume, the LinkedIn profile, those are the best way to do that when nobody knows you and gets you out there. And you want to make sure that you're getting endorsements and skills and recommendations from people. They do help you bump up, to the top of the list as far as when people are using a keyword, which is the bottom one, to search. So if you're a senior sales manager, if you're a business transient sales manager in hospitality, you want to make sure that that is your title, because when a hiring manager types it in, that's going to come up. And if you just say sales manager and they have to dig down to really kind of read what markets you sell, it could cause them to push off and go, to someone else. So you want to make sure you're actually keyword accessible on LinkedIn. And of course, resumes too, right? Resumes should be keyword accessible, because they're going to go into the ATS machines, and maybe Amy Miller will disagree, but there still could get kicked out from, if we're not using proper keywords.
Now, it's important to also, it's probably important, you talked about resumes and talked about LinkedIn profiles. It's super critical. I'll talk about the big white elephant in the room. All right. Your LinkedIn profile is not your resume.
Right.
This is so critical. I cannot tell you how many people, when I've asked for a resume, will say, yeah, just use my LinkedIn profile. Small experiment for you. If you ever get a chance, you can go into LinkedIn. You can download your resume, your LinkedIn profile. It looks not good. Okay. It does not look professional. It's jumbled. It's garbled. It's just not a good look.
It's kind of a PDF train wreck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So because of that, you don't ever want to assume that your LinkedIn profile is going to be your resume. That being said, you can attach your resume to your LinkedIn profile. Nothing wrong with that, but you need to have both. Right. The style on your LinkedIn profile is different. You don't have as much creativity, as much character, as much even space-wise that you'd have when it comes to your LinkedIn profile as opposed to your resume. The other thing, and we've talked about it before, of course, when it comes to printing, your LinkedIn profile includes everything. Right. Your skills, your endorsements, your likes, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so that's just a lot to have on a piece of paper. So if you actually use your regular resume, you can keep it to that critical 2 pages, if you will.
Well, and the other thing, like you mentioned, you can and you should, if you are looking for a job, you want to do a few things on LinkedIn. Once you build that profile, you want to tell recruiters and hiring managers you're open to new opportunities. That'll help you get noticed a little bit quicker. I'm not a big fan of the open to work placard that goes over the photo, but that is what it is. That's neither here nor there. The other thing you want to do is, like you said, upload your resume. If you do have recommendation letters that you want to share with people, upload them. You have a whole platform on your LinkedIn profile to upload photos, to upload documents, to share documents and skill, and those kind of things. So use it. It's there for a reason. So
And I think you'll probably, if you took sound bites from every single one of our Facebook Lives, I'm saying the same thing, which is like, comment, share, post. You can have the best profile in the world. We're giving you great tips to make your resume and make your profile look great. That's fantastic. If no one sees it, what does it matter at this point? So get yourself out there. Be involved in LinkedIn. We regularly are on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok, Snapchat, whatever. You're on those things.
Skittle Biddle, whatever they're called.
Whatever, yeah. Or was it the Snapface? I think one guy called it. But you get the idea. Do not withhold on LinkedIn. I know we're going to have to wrap up here in a second. I heard a stat that got me. Someone, I think I read, I forget where, it said the average person spends 15 minutes a week on LinkedIn.
Yeah. By the way, the average person spends 20 to 30 minutes on Facebook and another 15 minutes a day on Instagram, but 15 minutes a week on LinkedIn. Yeah. And LinkedIn is the place to get hired. So, keep that in mind. Well, thank you. You guys have a wonderful day.
See you guys.